Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bad Brad Berkwitt Show on Ringside Reports YouTube channel. Now, here's your host, who moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma from the East Coast, Bad Brad Berkwitt.
Hey folks, we're here for another show. But before we start, did you hear one about the grasshopper who walked into the bar and the bartender said, "You know we have a drink named after you?" And the grasshopper looked at him and he said, "You got a drink named Irving?" Hey, that's an East Coast joke, but I'm going to share that with all those people here in Oklahoma who I love so much. This show is all about you and local talent that one day is going to be on the world stage. But remember where you heard it first and you saw them first here on my show. But with that said, let's start the show. Come fly with me. My guest today is a professional MMA fighter with a record of 8-4-1, and he hails from Sapulpa. Look at that, I practiced that about 80 times, Oklahoma. He is the current Rumble on the River welterweight champion. Please welcome to the show, Ed Cline Jr. All right, have a seat. Glad you made it. I practiced that and practiced that and practiced that. But each time out, I'm learning all of these cities, and I love it because everybody on the East Coast is saying, "Huh? What?" They usually say that when I talk here because I talk so fast, coming from the East Coast. When they hear the names of these cities, they say, "Well, what are you talking about?" I said, "You just make sure you pronounce it right because I practice." But with that said, thank you. With that said, let's start like this. How did you get into MMA fighting?
I got into MMA fighting through a childhood wrestling coach who was also my football coach and my childhood best friend's dad. He had a karate school and came from a karate background and coached us in wrestling growing up. And when I was in high school, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, you want to come to my gym and train with me?" And the trade-off was if I did his karate class, I could do his MMA class. So I trained karate and did that for a little while. And then I ended up getting a fight at 16.
Okay.
When you before the rules had changed, and you could still fight under 18 as an amateur. But the catch was you couldn't hit in the face on the ground.
Okay.
So I had my first fight when I was 16, and I lost. I had no submission background. Basically just went in there and fought as a wrestler. Okay. With a little bit of teaching and stuff, and I ended up immediately falling in love with it, getting hooked, and the fire got lit from there. So then the rules changed. Okay. I had to wait till you were 18 to fight, and as soon as I turned 18, I got hooked up with a guy who I was going to teach me and a buddy of mine were going to teach him wrestling. He in turn was going to show us jiu-jitsu,
okay. And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Now, you say 18. Even though you have a little growth here, you look 19. So what was this last year? How long ago was this?
No, I've been training it'll be 6 years in April.
Wow. See, do you get carded everywhere you go?
Yeah.
Okay. So the beard isn't going to fool anybody.
If I took the hat off, you'd see the receding hairline.
Well, hey, I got one too, buddy, so I'm not going to make fun of you. Is there one MMA fighter, even during your career or even before, if you follow MMA, that you look up to or you like to emulate?
I wouldn't say that there was anybody I like to emulate. Okay. There's a lot of guys that I respect and admire. There's a lot of guys who, as wrestlers, made a name for themselves in MMA. Okay. Showcasing different talents. Chuck Liddell's a big guy who was a wrestler, and in return ends up knocking people out. So him along with a lot of those other guys on the Ultimate Fighter. When I was first getting into it, the Ultimate Fighter was early in its seasons 1 and 2. Okay. You see some of those guys like Forrest and Stephan Bonner. You see fights like that. Right. And those guys are getting to see that show and getting to see what they go through and stuff like that. It was always encouraging to me. But I tend to kind of lean towards the wrestler-based guys who are able to go in and really develop their style and really showcase other things other than just wrestling. Okay.
In your opinion, what is the biggest that you've seen, biggest misconception about the sport of MMA?
That anybody can do it. Okay. There's a lot of people that watch it on TV and think, "Hey, I can do that," and it's a big misconception because there's a lot of training, a lot of discipline, a lot of things that go into it. I know for myself, I train. When I'm getting ready for a fight, I'll train 6 days a week in the evening, plus plus I work a full-time job.
I love it.
So I get off work at 5, I go to the gym, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Sometimes I'm there till 9 o'clock, and then turn and go back home and start all over again.
And see, folks, to all the young people on the East Coast where I grew up, every time I have a guest on here, they train 3 times a day, 2 times a day. They work out 6 times a week, 7 times a week, whatever, or 7 days a week, I should say, and they work a full-time job. So when you sit back and you tell your parents, I can't do a sport and work a full-time job, listen to the gentleman like that's sitting right here. Because you can do both, you have to want to do both, and you have to have a desire to do both. And that's a throwback to, I'm giving up my age here, but that's okay. That's a throwback to my generation. It's refreshing to hear that, and I have to be honest, I hear it more in the state of Oklahoma than I ever saw it on the East Coast. And that's something I commend you on. And all the guests that I've had on so far that in your age group, all of you guys are working a full-time gig for the most part, especially MMA guys. Right. And they don't have a promoter that's paying their rent and all that type of stuff. Right. So I commend you on that. Now, looking at your record, and I was at your last fight, and it threw me a little bit because I was looking, I said, wait a second, I thought it was an MMA fight, but as we know, as we discussed before the show, it was a kickboxing event. It was at February 6th at the Rumble on the River. It was a 22. It was Rumble on the River, I believe, right?
I think it was an Extreme Fight.
Extreme Fight Night. Okay, Extreme Fight Night, but it was February 6th at River Spirit Casino, Dale Paulo Cook Card.
Yes, sir.
And you had your first match as a professional kickboxer.
Yes.
And you stopped your opponent, I think, in 35 seconds.
Yes.
Now, are you going to move into kickboxing, or are you going to stay with MMA?
No, I'm going to stay with MMA.
Okay.
We took the fight. We had kind of gone back and forth about it. Me and my coach Thomas. We had gone back and forth about me getting a kickboxing fight because he really wants me to be able to showcase my stand-up. Because most of my fights, they go to the ground.
Right.
With the kickboxing, he really wanted me to have an opportunity to do strictly stand-up.
Okay.
To focus only on stand-up. So the whole camp was geared towards kickboxing only. So it was an opportunity for me to showcase, hey, I'm not just a ground fighter. I'm not just a wrestler. I can stand and fight too.
Okay. What was it like going to the ring? Everything is different in sparring. When I boxed, everything is, when you're in the gym and sparring and working out, it's a whole different thing when you get in the ring and the bell rings. What was it like for you doing kickboxing?
It was a little more nerve-wracking. I would say I was pretty nervous. You're always nervous when you do new and different things, but I knew that I didn't have to worry about takedowns, submission defense, anything like that. I could just go in there and I could just trade. So leading into the fight, walking into the ring, I had just a small, warm up in the back. For my preference, I didn't really want to do a whole lot.
Okay.
I just wanted to get in the ring and fight. And so once I got out there, everything, kind of went away. Crowd kind of goes quiet, almost like tunnel vision. You don't really hear anything. You see some faces, but you're in the zone and you're ready to go.
Okay.
So it was different in the sense that I was thinking about different things, but all the same, it was still a fight. Okay.
Now we have a belt that you brought with you. Tell me a little bit about that.
That is the Rumble on the River welterweight championship.
Okay.
I won that. I believe it was last March. I won that via first round submission.
Okay. Now, welterweight, because it's so different than boxing. Welterweight in MMA, because I'm a novice and I'm still learning the sport. What is that weight? Because boxing is 147.
170.
Jesus, that's amazing. I looked at your record and I said, 170, this must be a typo, because it says welterweight, and as you know in boxing, welterweight's 100. Sugar Ray Leonard was a welterweight, 100 when he started, 147 pounds. 170 in professional boxing is super middleweight, almost light heavyweight. It throws me the disparity in MMA and in boxing, the weights, where, like I said, 147 would be a welterweight, No, 147 boxing would be a welterweight. I'm getting myself confused. 170 is a welterweight for you. It's amazing, the disparity in weights.
Yeah, I can never keep up with boxing.
Yeah.
I get them all confused.
Right.
And now with MMA getting bigger, with straw weights and bantamweights and flyweights, and adding a bunch of different weight classes, and it's kind of hard to keep up.
Yeah, for me too. Now I'm going to throw some names at you. The first thing that pops in your head is what I want you to tell me. Okay? Thomas Longacre.
Great dude.
Okay.
Stand-up fighter.
Okay. Ronda Rousey, who's fighting, I think, Saturday.
Our queen.
The what?
Armbar queen.
There you go. Okay. John Jones.
Very well rounded.
Anderson Silva.
The greatest.
Okay. The overhyped Kimbo Slice.
Street brawler.
Okay. Give me one name and your thought of a fighter that if you could wave a magic wand and fight in your next fight, who would you love to fight as an MMA guy?
Rory McDonald.
Okay. And what's your thought about him?
He strikes me as so almost mysterious.
Okay.
Because he doesn't, he's very good, but I just don't understand his approach. He has a very laid back almost style of fighting. And that's how I see it. And I just think it would be interesting to see and to get to experience to fight someone like him.
Okay. And on that note, folks, we're going to take a short commercial break. Health and fitness is everything in life. To achieve both, there is nothing better than a boxing regimen to get you in shape at that special boxing gym. Grimm's Gym is that special place, located at 8010 Clifton Road in Sacramento, California. Grimm's Gym is owned and operated by Mel Walker, a trainer like no other, who will take you on a fitness journey through unconventional training methods that have yielded results for his students time and time again. So call Grimm's Gym, where there are no contracts, at 916-346-4161. Boxing fans, are you searching for a book that is timeless? A book that not only gives a fighter's perspective, but people involved in the sport and Hollywood celebrities who share their love of boxing? Then the book for you is Boxing Interviews of a Lifetime by Bad Brad Berkwitt. To order your copy in hardcover with dust jacket or paperback, go online to authorhouse.com or call 1-888-519-5121. Is your company looking to achieve more of a market share in its respective area, turning exposure into additional revenue? Well then, the Bad Brad Berkwitt Show is the place you want to spend some of your allotted advertising budget. To find out about purchasing your commercial spot on the Bad Brad Berkwitt Show, call the RSR office at 918-893-7997. We're now back with professional MMA fighter Ed Cline Jr. There is Ed Cline Sr., who actually accepted my Facebook request today. So, hey, kudos to you there, Ed, that you were pretty quick on accepting my Facebook request. So if you could get out of line, I know your dad on Facebook, right. So don't worry, I'm going to tell him. Are you into boxing at all?
No.
No. Okay. No problem. Then we're going to scratch the next question I was going to ask you. Okay. What is one thing you can share about yourself that really isn't known?
I'm huge into chick flicks.
Is this not a... Folks, Jared Rouse, I'm calling you out, buddy. Trey Lippy Morrison, I'm calling you out, brother. And now Ed Cline Jr. They're all into chick flicks. I like them too, though. Okay. You're into chick flicks. Any particular chick flicks or
no.
All chick flicks?
No. I mean, it varies. I mean, you got the classic Notebook. You got
Go
the
ahead.
classic Notebook.
Yep.
You've got, The Vow.
Okay.
Channing Tatum. There's a ton of them. Twilight falls in there.
Okay.
I like all of them.
Now, you told me something that I didn't know coming in, and you said we could talk about it. You're engaged, I should say, not going to be. You're engaged to be married, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did your fiance twist your arm and say, I saw his interviews, ask you about movies, you better say chick flicks? Was she behind this?
No.
Okay, so you actually are.
She knows that I'm big into chick flicks.
Okay.
So.
What I want you to do is I want you to say something special to her off the top of your head. Look at the camera and send a message out to your fiance and give her the name so we know.
Lindsay, I love you very much, and I greatly appreciate how much you support me and how much you tolerate with me and my busy schedule and the the things that I have to go through. You've been a great support system, and I know that you will continue to be a great support system. And I love you very much, and can't wait to marry you.
Fantastic. And when's the date? Do you have a date?
March 20th.
Wow, it's right around the corner. Okay.
Quick.
Great. Well, let me know, and if there's send me some pictures, and I'll run my Ringside report and give you a big shout out.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Your favorite actor?
I have a lot, but I would say probably overall favorite, big Kevin Costner fan.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Again, I have a lot. I would probably say Wyatt Earp.
Good one.
Kevin Costner.
Oh, Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Val Kilmer did a heck of a job.
I was going to say, yes, he did.
So if he could have teamed up with Costner and they could have done it together, I mean, you'd have
your movies. Because when he said, I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh,
and nobody, to me, and I agree with you, nobody beat, I love Dennis Quaid as an actor, but nobody beats Val Kilmer in that performance of Doc Holliday. Yeah. And especially the end when he comes to visit him, he says, don't come and see me anymore, and he's dying in the bed. It was sad, but sad. Favorite singer?
Again, I have a lot of favorite singers. I would have to say the top one would be Garth Brooks.
Okay. Who's from here? And I hear nothing but good things about him. Have you ever seen him in concert?
Yes.
Okay.
I got to do a bucket list concert. My fiance got me, Lindsay, she got me tickets for Christmas, and we got to go see him.
Was that the BOK?
Yes.
Wow. He did like 2 or 3 shows?
Yeah.
Or 2 shows a night?
He did a bunch of shows.
Okay.
I've always heard, he's a great performer. You'll never top seeing him live, and even with him doing multiple shows, it was still a heck of an experience.
It sold out, from what I understand.
Yeah, quick. Yeah. I think he ended up, he had to
add shows.
More shows in.
Amazing. Yeah. I hear nothing but great things about him. If you could meet one person from any time in history, it doesn't have to be sports, or it could be, who would you like to meet, and what would your first question be for them?
I would probably say Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
And I would probably ask him about his time as president and such a big part of our country's history and the role that he played in abolishing slavery and all that he had to deal with.
Okay.
And that he really kind of stuck true to what he believed and was able to really change the course of where our country was headed.
Okay. Now, being a movie buff like you are, did you see Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis? He kicked butt in that movie.
That was great.
Yeah, it was very.
I did not expect it to be as long as it was.
Oh, it was very long. It was very long.
I enjoyed it.
But he was Lincoln. I mean,
he did
it's amazing. He was fantastic. Why he won an Oscar. And finally, what is the saying you live your life by, if you have one?
I wouldn't say that I have a particular saying that I live my life by. I just try to be, better every day than I was the day before. And I just try to be, a positive influence on people, and just try to I love to make people laugh, and if I can make somebody laugh and we're having a good time and I can put a smile on their face, then I'm happy.
Okay. Finally, a double finally here for you. I want you to look at the camera again, and I want you to send out a message to your family, your friends, and your fans who support you in your MMA career and your short, even if it is one bout, you kick butt in your kickboxing career. Look at the camera and send out a message.
I just want to thank everybody that's followed me and supported me throughout my journey. My family's been a huge supporter. My fiance, who puts up with everything that comes along with it, and just all the fans that come out each and every time and show your love and support. I greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Like I said always, I've got the best fans in the world.
All right, folks, there you have it. Another show in the can. And as Frank Sinatra sang so eloquently so long ago, the best is yet to come. Bad Brad out.